Welcome to 2D Mystery, where mysteries come alive. Have you ever imagined that a black hole, considered a cosmic monster, could suddenly explode near Earth? It sounds like a sci-fi movie script, but maybe it really happened. A mysterious explosion, strange signals from space, and theories that have shocked the scientific world. Did we just witness the destruction of a mini black hole? Don't look away, because right after this, 2D Mystery will take you on a journey to discover one of the most shocking cosmic mysteries of the year. Milky Way rocket. Don't let the like button be lonely. Don't let the share button wither. And don't let the subscribe button wait for you forever. Chapter 1. Starting with an invisible vibration when the universe speaks. That sound is silent. It didn't vibrate in the air. It didn't travel through the atmosphere. And it wasn't picked up by any microphones on Earth. But one night in August 2022, gravitational wave detectors around the world rang out in unison. It was a jolt from nothingness. At the LIGO Observatory in the United States, an engineer on duty described the moment as a bell ringing in the air, one that no one could hear, only felt by machines, and a chill down the spine. There was no bang, there was no light, but the ultra-sensitive instruments picked up a strange pulse. A gravitational wave lasting exactly 0.2 seconds, with characteristics unlike any other astronomical phenomenon ever recorded. A kind of space-time jolt coming from less than 1,000 kilometers above Earth. Immediately, a series of radio telescopes, X-ray telescopes, gamma-ray telescopes, and even the Chandra Space Telescope were adjusted to observe. But all they saw was a black void. No meteors, no supernovae, no colliding celestial bodies, just absolute silence. A silence so terrifying that it made veteran astrophysicists admit, we have never seen anything like it. A whisper from the deep universe? The first question that arose, if not a collision between black holes or neutron stars, then where did the source of these gravitational waves come from? To create gravitational waves strong enough to reach instruments on Earth, there must have been a catastrophic event on a cosmic scale. So why was there no light this time? No explosion, no gamma-ray emission? Could the source be so small that not even light could escape? An idea has quietly crept into the scientific community, initially as a joke. Did a mini black hole just explode near Earth? But the unusual silence from space agencies, NASA, ESA, even JAXA, has made this seemingly absurd theory all the more terrifying. A crack in reality? What makes this incident so special is its proximity. No gravitational waves have ever been detected with such frequency from just a few hundred kilometers away. In fact, it has made many scientists shudder to realize, if a primordial black hole the size of an atomic nucleus really did explode just a few hundred kilometers from Earth, we would be on the brink of extinction without even knowing it. Imagine that. An invisible entity, smaller than a molecule, but heavier than the Himalayas, hurtling through space like a bullet through reality, and then suddenly exploding. There was no bang. There was no fire. Only space-time stretched in an invisible moment. Scientists call it phenomenon Pk Alpha 2, but in underground physics forums, it is referred to by a much more creepy name. Whisper of the Void. Is the memory of the universe awakening something? But why now? Why in 2022, when we are absorbed in technological life, when humanity is focused on worldly matters, does a small crack in the cosmic curtain suddenly appear? Some archaeologists, out of curiosity or paranoia, began to flip through ancient texts. They found records in ancient Indian stone carvings mentioning the black seed god, who can wipe out entire kingdoms with just a glance. In Egypt, a faint inscription on the wall of the Karnak temple describes a silent shaking that occurred at the same time as the sky darkened and there was no wind. In China, the Book of Heaven from the Zhou dynasty describes a shadow that disappeared into nothingness, something invisible but that shook the earth. Could it be that what just passed by the earth was more than just a physical event, or an ancient memory? Reliving it? An accident or a warning? The incident lasted less than a second in real time. But the consequences, or perhaps the signs, are still reverberating today. A series of deep-sea fish suddenly surfaced dead, despite no signs of poisoning. Global GPS experienced slight interference at 0.3 seconds, even though there was no solar storm. Some research stations in Antarctica reported their atomic clocks were off by 0.0001 seconds without any apparent cause. These phenomena were not enough to cause global alarm, but they were enough to make serious scientists frown. Something had happened, and maybe it will happen again. As the fog thickened, that night the sky was still clear. The satellites were still rotating, but in the endless silence of space, something whispered to us, not with sound, but with gravity, with the distortion of space-time, with the imprint of an invisible traveler. Had we just witnessed the self-destruction of a mini black hole, an entity from the early universe? Or was it just a portal opening, signaling a series of phenomena for which modern science was not prepared? Some believe that what just disappeared may not have been an explosion, but a jump from one reality to another. And if that's true, then perhaps we've been seeing what are mini black holes, tiny light eaters, where we will trace the traces of one of the most mysterious entities in the universe. Small, invisible, but possessing unimaginable destructive power. Get ready to venture deeper into the cosmic darkness. Chapter 2. What are mini black holes, tiny light eaters? In modern cosmological laboratories, amid labyrinthine tables of equations and non-stop supercomputers, there's an idea that has always stunned even the greatest minds. Mini black holes. Invisible points with the mass of Mount Everest, but smaller than a hydrogen atom. Black holes. Just hearing the name makes people imagine cosmic nightmares, where light is swallowed, time stops, and all physical laws disintegrate. But what about mini black holes? Smaller than a speck of dust, heavier than a planet. A regular black hole, the one that forms when a massive star dies, can be as big as a city or even larger than our solar system. But mini black holes are different. They go by mysterious names like primordial black holes, plain black holes, quantum black holes. They are so small that the human eye cannot see them. Telescopes cannot photograph them, and all normal devices treat them as empty holes. But if just one such black hole were to pass through the Earth, in a split second it could create a passage through the Earth's core, cause tiny gravitational shocks that no one would notice. And if it exploded, it would release the energy of billions of nuclear bombs in less than a fraction of a second. The origin, the bastard child of the Big Bang. Many black holes are thought to be a byproduct of the early universe, formed in the first moments after the Big Bang, when the density and temperature were unimaginably high. Rather than forming from dead stars like regular black holes, they're the result of quantum fluctuations in space-time, where just a point with a slightly higher density than its surroundings can cause gravity to bend it and collapse. Imagine the universe as a boiling lake. Each bubble that rises is a little universe, and maybe some of those bubbles collapse in on themselves to form black holes. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Kip Thorne for his work on gravitational waves. Many black holes, if they exist, could still be wandering the universe today. They don't glow, they don't generate heat, they don't interact with light. They are ancient ghosts drifting in the cosmic night. Stephen Hawking and the Strange Prophecy. In 1974, Stephen Hawking proposed a groundbreaking theory. Black holes are not eternal. They radiate energy and evaporate. This phenomenon is called Hawking radiation. And what happens when a mini black hole, which could be as small as a proton, evaporates at the last second? An explosion, a flash of death, a shock wave through space-time, a whisper of nothingness. And that's what most likely happened near Earth that fateful August night. Why are mini black holes scarier than nuclear bombs? A mini black hole weighs only a few billion tons, but because it packs such a huge mass and is such a small volume, its gravity is almost absolute. Nothing can escape, not even light or time. A real-world example. If you squeeze the mass of Mount Everest into a subatomic point, you'd create a mini black hole. And if you held it in your hand, you wouldn't be able to see it, you wouldn't be able to touch it, but your entire body and the Earth would be ripped apart if it got close. Not because it's corrosive like acid, but because space-time around it is warped to the point of being out of whack. Where are they? And could one be coming? Many black holes, if they exist, could be floating around the universe, even in our solar system. Some scientists think the mysterious phenomenon known as Planet 9, an unseen planet that affects the orbits of distant objects, could be a mini black hole. Not as big as Earth, but massive enough to pull the planet out of orbit. If so, they're not just theoretical. They're here, in the dark. Observe. What would happen if a mini black hole exploded near Earth? Imagine, in a split second, a point in space explodes with 100 times the energy of the Hiroshima nuclear bomb. No light, no sound, but it shakes space-time like a rock dropped into a calm lake. The Earth won't explode, but the event could interfere with all communication satellites, create gravitational waves that affect neighboring planets, and worst of all, open up a gravitational rift, changing the structure of space at the point of explosion. There is an even bolder hypothesis. The mini black hole doesn't explode, but escapes to another dimension. In that case, the explosion is actually the remnant of a trans-dimensional movement, a jump that we accidentally witnessed. Conclusion: something smaller than dust, but can be swallowing the world. We often imagine the destroyer from space to be an asteroid, a supernova, or a gamma wave. But in fact, the most dangerous thing may be something no one sees, no one hears, no one knows exists. A mini black hole passes through your living room. You'll never know. But if it stops for a fraction of a second, every atom in your body will be torn to dust. They are light eaters, entities older than the dawn of the universe. And if that night really was the moment one of them evaporated, the universe has just sent us a message. But they're still there, and getting closer. Hawking and the prophecy of the primordial black hole, where science is no longer a numerical number, but a warning from the edge of life and nothingness. Follow in the footsteps of a lonely genius who saw the darkness hidden deep within the fabric of the universe. Chapter 3. Hawking and the Prophecy of the Primordial Black Hole. On a cold night in Cambridge, amid piles of papers, Stephen Hawking, his body imprisoned by ALS but his mind beyond all limits, wrote lines that stunned the entire scientific community. He declared, "Black holes are not completely black. They radiate energy. They die, and not just dead. They can evaporate in an explosion so powerful it shakes space-time. The upheaval of the century." Before Hawking, black holes were considered bottomless pits, into which everything fell and disappeared forever. But in 1974, he combined quantum mechanics and relativity to propose a revolutionary hypothesis. Black holes emit quantum radiation due to fluctuations at the edge of their event horizons. This phenomenon became known as Hawking radiation. This was more than just a theoretical discovery. It shook the very concept of reality. If a black hole could evaporate, then it was not immortal. It had a lifespan, and at the end of its life, it would explode. Primordial black holes, seeds of darkness. Hawking was not just talking about ordinary black holes. He was particularly interested in primordial black holes, PBHs, tiny black holes that formed shortly after the Big Bang. They did not come from the deaths of stars. They were the remnants of a chaotic early universe, when space-time was boiling like a pot of water boiled by hellfire. If primordial black holes exist, then the universe is not just filled with light, it is filled with pure darkness. Hawking suggests that billions of primordial black holes may be drifting around. They're ticking time bombs, silently counting down the seconds. The final minutes and cosmic fire. The smaller a black hole gets, the more radiation it emits. At some point, when it becomes extremely small, approaching the Planck scale, 10 superscript 3 meters, the evaporation goes crazy. The temperature soars to millions of degrees Kelvin. The radiation emitted exceeds all physical tolerance. And finally, explosion. Imagine an object smaller than a bacterium, suddenly exploding with the energy of billions of tons of TNT. But there is no fire, no sound, only a fascinating whisper through space, like a lost heartbeat of the universe. The explosion of a primordial black hole could be the last signal it leaves to the universe, and one of its most profound. Stephen Hawking, the near-Earth explosion, a strange confirmation? When physicists that year discovered a strange, extremely short pulse of energy, not coming from the sun, not from ordinary celestial bodies, they could not determine the source. But a few people whispered Hawking's name. They began to wonder, could this be the final explosion of a primordial black hole? Has a seed of darkness from the primordial age just died? When the data was analyzed, it was found that the characteristics of the explosion were eerily similar to the model Hawking had described. A widespread wave of energy, no optical light, but gamma and gravitational waves. Many black holes and a message from the future. Some scientists and conspiracy theorists have gone further. They say that the explosion wasn't the end. It was a signal, a warning. If a primordial black hole exploded near Earth, it could mean other black holes exist too, and they're approaching the age of annihilation. What if hundreds, if not thousands, of primordial black holes started exploding all at once, scattered across the galaxy? A black harvest of a universe? A fascinating apocalypse? Hawking, lone genius or physics prophet? For much of his life, Hawking was more than just a scientist. He was a thinker, a man who saw things that no one else dared to believe were real. Someone once asked him, "Do you believe that primordial black holes will destroy the Earth?" Hawking simply smiled and replied, "No, but if you see a strange explosion that you can't explain, go back and read my theory." And now, as strange signs start to appear, from gravitational waves to unexplained blobs of energy, his prophecy becomes more haunting than ever. We're only just beginning to understand black holes. So far, we have yet to directly see a primordial or mini black hole. But the physical consequences of their existence are slowly being revealed through gravitational waves, through unexplained astronomical phenomena, and through explosions like that night. Perhaps what Hawking saw was not a theory, but a future that is coming. The mysterious explosion on the night of August, an unexplained astronomical event. This is the moment when everything becomes real. No more theory, no more prediction, but a night, an explosion, and a cosmic mystery that makes even the most experienced scientists silent in amazement. Chapter 4. The mysterious explosion on the night of August, an unexplained astronomical event. On a peaceful night in August 2022, when all of humanity was still absorbed in the disturbances underground, in the depths of the sky, an invisible explosion occurred. No light, no sound, no warning, just a huge pulse of energy suddenly hitting a series of telescopes and observatories across the planet. The event lasted only 0.13 seconds, but the consequences left behind were immeasurable. 1. A signal from the dark. At around 2 a.m., Universal Time Coordinated, NASA's Fermi Space Telescope, which specializes in gamma rays, picked up a powerful burst of radiation from an unknown location. Almost simultaneously, instruments from ESA, the Subaru Observatory in Hawaii, and the LIGO gravitational wave detector in the United States all picked up the unusual signal. This strange coincidence had scientists worried. Unlike typical gamma-ray bursts from supernovae or colliding neutron stars, this burst of energy was completely devoid of optical light. There was no surrounding cloud of matter, no lingering X-ray emission, just a cold, sharp slash through the cosmos. We've never seen anything like this before. Dr. Elena Morovich, ESA's chief data analyst. 2. Searching for clues and the mysterious shadow. Over the next few weeks, dozens of observatories around the world searched the night sky. Data from 5 continents was collected, modeled, and analyzed by supercomputers. The result? No previous objects in the area where the signal originated. No stellar remnants, no unusual motions. But there was a strange, tiny dent in space-time recorded by LIGO. A gravitational ripple, faint but distinct. as if a tiny but extremely massive object had just vanished. And that was the first clue to a bold hypothesis. This was no ordinary astronomical explosion. It was the final death of a primordial black hole. 3. When theory meets reality. The physical parameters of this strange explosion, its timing, its intensity, the type of energy emitted, were chillingly consistent with Hawking's model of a mini black hole evaporating. Estimated mass, about 10 superscript 1 kg, about the size of a giant iceberg. Size, smaller than an atom. Age, about 13.8 billion years, exactly the age of the universe. If this is indeed a primordial black hole exploding, it's a huge confirmation of a theory that's been around for over 40 years. Professor Carl Selden, University of Cambridge. 4. The terrifying location, too close to ignore. A triangulation of a location from telescopes suggests the explosion occurred within 1 to 2 light years of our solar system. On the scale of the universe, that's close, extremely close. Not dangerous enough, but enough to show that many black holes aren't just a pipe dream. They're here, all around us. No one knows how many are drifting between planets, how many others have evaporated millions of years ago without our noticing, and how many will explode in the near future. 5. The absolute silence from governments. As soon as astronomers began publishing their preliminary results, a wave of silence suddenly spread. Some articles were removed from scientific journals. Independent observational groups were cut off from funding. Some scientists disappeared from the media. Many believed that government agencies were involved. Maybe they didn't want to cause panic. Maybe they didn't want to reveal that the Earth was in a cosmic minefield, where each explosion was an exclamation point to doom. Or maybe they knew all along. Don't ask why it was kept secret. Ask why it was detected. Anonymous LIGO researcher. 6. The August event. One of many? Since that night, at least 3 similar events have been reported, but all have been covered up or attributed to other phenomena. Deformed neutron stars, gravitational wave interference, or even system errors. But there is one thing researchers agree on. The frequency is increasing. If primordial black holes do exist, and if many of them are reaching their final evaporation age, then the universe may be about to witness a wave of small but haunting explosions. 7. The end or the beginning. The August night explosion was more than an astronomical signal. It was a doorway to another reality, one where the laws of physics collide, where the death of a subatomic object can send shockwaves through the cosmos. And perhaps it was the first warning that we are living in the most fragile moment in the history of the universe. A time when the death of dark particles could shake the entire galaxy. We continue to delve deeper into the darkness of truth, where it is no longer pure science, but conspiracy, power, and absolute control over cosmic information. This is the chapter where the curtain is pulled back from the secret corridors and windowless research rooms. Chapter 5. Buried Data and the Game of Superpowers. When the August explosion was recorded and analyzed, many scientists thought they were about to become pioneers in opening a new chapter in cosmology. But just a few days later, they realized that something was wrong. And the wrong thing did not come from the universe. It came from humans. 1. The data pages disappeared into the darkness. Dr. Rafael Mendez, an expert at the Cerro Tololo Observatory in Chile, was one of the first to collect optical data immediately after the signal from Fermi. 3 days later, when he was about to publish his first analysis in the Astrophysical Journal, his scientific account was locked. The central server where the original data was stored was completely erased. A short email arrived. For international security reasons, your manuscript is on hold. The same thing happened at Tokyo University. Gravitational wave recording system was abruptly shut down after the first paper on the early black hole model was published. Max Planck Institute, Germany, computer room temporarily sealed, data seized. South African Observatory, signal segment matching the time of the explosion was removed from public databases. We're not allowed to talk. But the truth is scarier than any conspiracy theory. Anonymous researcher Moscow Institute of Astrophysics. 2. Who could do it? Intercept data from multiple countries. Synchronize time. Suppress information before it spreads. Not a hacker group. Not a single organization. There's only one type of force that can do this: the International Superpower Alliance. Insiders say that after the August night incident, an emergency meeting was held in the heart of Cheyenne Mountain, a top-secret U.S. military base. Representatives of NASA, ESA, CNSA, China, Roscosmos, Russia, JAXA, Japan attended. There is no official transcript, no images, only a small leak from the leaked document later said. Incident M0814 confirmed. Hypothetical object has disappeared. Estimated energy exceeds standard. Classification stage R8, globally top secret. 3. Why the cover-up? There are several theories for the cover-up. Theory 1, avoiding global panic. An unexplained explosion, possibly involving a hyper-energetic near-Earth object. Easily enough to scare people, especially in a post-COVID world of geopolitical uncertainty and declining trust in government. Theory 2, weaponizing space. If some countries believe that many black holes can be created, controlled, or exploited, they will keep it secret to develop weapons technology based on absolute energy, creating an artificial explosion similar to M0814. However small, could be the ultimate in physical destruction, an explosion that destroys everything without the need for nuclear weapons. Theory 3, knowing their existence in advance. Some independent researchers are asking the dire question: are we really just discovering primordial black holes in 2022? Assuming that the superpowers have known about the existence of these objects for decades, even tracking their evaporation, then the August explosion was just the tipping point of a long-term plan. Publicizing the event could force them to reveal themselves, and the entire false history would collapse. For the signals that were never made public. In a leaked report from the Baikonur Cosmodrome, Kazakhstan, a series of similar signals were detected between 2003 and 2021, a total of 8 times. But these signals never appeared in public scientific databases, not reported in any journals, tagged as unidentified spectral phenomena. This suggests that the M0814 explosion may not have been the first, just the first to be revealed. 5. Where did the people who spoke out go? Some scientists who spoke out publicly about the strange explosion have disappeared from the media radar. For example, Dr. Hans Lehmann, German physicist, missing in September 2022 after publishing a model of a spontaneous mini black hole. Tina Huang, Chinese PhD, published a paper on AR-14, deleted after 6 hours. Email account locked. Miguel Soares, Brazil, suspended after presenting the potential impact of a primordial black hole on the solar system. The physics community calls these people guardians of the dark. 6. Interstellar games. After the August explosion, both the US and China dramatically accelerated their space programs. NASA established a top-secret project called Sentinel-9, placing a satellite system capable of detecting gravitational microdisturbance. China's CNSA claims to be researching non-traditional space energy sources. Russia has not announced anything, but the signal data from the Spectre Observatory is completely encrypted. It seems as it is, each superpower is trying to get an early stake in the mini black hole control game. 7. What about us? The outside world doesn't know. The news doesn't cover it. Mainstream science is silent. But the cracks are already showing. The mini black hole explosion on that August night was more than just an astronomical event. It was the dividing line between science and politics, between discovery and control, between truth and darkness. Who holds the truth? Who controls the objects that can tear apart the very fabric of space-time? And if one has exploded, how many are counting down? We continue our journey into the world of cosmic secrets, where primordial black holes are not only mysterious objects in space, but also maybe vestiges of a lost civilization or technology far beyond the capabilities of current humanity. Let's explore in Chapter 6, Primordial Black Holes, Vestiges of the Big Bang or technology of another civilization. Chapter 6. Primordial black holes. Vestiges of the Big Bang or technology of another civilization. If this universe has a long, dark history, then primordial black holes are cosmic graveyards, where mysterious events not only originate from physical objects, but may also be related to the secrets of the formation of the universe, and even traces of civilizations that came before us. 1. Primordial black holes, the secret guardians of the universe. According to cosmological theory, primordial black holes are believed to have existed in the very first moments of the universe, right after the Big Bang. But the truth behind them may be much deeper than what modern science can explain. Primordial black holes are not like the black holes we observe today, which are formed from the collapse of massive stars. These black holes may have been born from the very fluctuations in space-time in the very first moments of the universe. They are not the result of a supernova or a neutron star collision, but rather primitive objects that cannot be seen with the naked eye or even detected by traditional means. So the question is, what could we be looking for that we cannot imagine? These black holes may not be just the byproducts of a cosmic explosion, but part of a vast network that holds knowledge that could change our entire understanding of life and the universe. 2. Primordial black holes and the Big Bang. Is there a connection? Conventional cosmological theory holds that the Big Bang was the birth of the universe, where space and time began at an infinitesimal point and then expanded dramatically. However, the story of the primordial black hole suggests a completely different possibility. Was the Big Bang actually a form of primordial black hole? Or could these black holes have existed before, and they were responsible for the explosion and expansion we call the Big Bang? If primordial black holes did exist before the Big Bang, they could be primitive cosmic structures that hold the fundamental data for the formation of the universe. They could be protective thresholds that hold the secrets of how everything began. And if so, could our universe actually have been created from these primordial black holes? If we can decode the primordial black holes, we can solve the biggest mysteries of the universe. Dr. Emily Carrington, astrophysicist, Harvard University. 3. The connection to alien civilizations. There's another hypothesis, a bold one, but not one that cannot be ignored, that primordial black holes are not a natural product of the universe, but rather a technology created by an advanced civilization. According to researchers, alien civilizations may have possessed the ability to create and control black holes as an inexhaustible source of energy or as a means of interstellar transportation. Primordial black holes may have been tools in the hands of these civilizations, and they may have been acting as giant gates or experimental tools. This theory is supported by circumstantial evidence, such as the strange shapes of some black holes we observe, such as those with extremely powerful energy vortices, may not be natural phenomena, but the result of a controlled process. Strange radio signals recorded from distant regions of space, which may be experiments or messages related to black holes. This leads to a question that one cannot help but wonder. Are we living in a universe where everything around us, from black holes to stars, is controlled by some alien force? 4. Traces on Earth. Are we finding evidence? Another important question is, if the primordial black holes were indeed the work of alien civilizations, what evidence could there be on Earth that suggests the existence of these civilizations? One of the hypotheses put forward is that strange and mysterious phenomena on Earth, such as mysterious structures like the pyramids or Stonehenge, could be space portals or traces of alien technology that existed in the past. Unexplained events like the Tunguska explosion, the disappearance of ancient civilizations like Atlantis, or signals of contact with other worlds. It is possible that these primordial black holes do not simply exist in space, but could be time portals or connecting tools of civilizations that transcend space and time. And as we study them, we may be tracing the traces of a cross-dimensional encounter with alien civilizations. 5. The final clue, from black holes to deep secrets. Primordial black holes are not just a bright spot in cosmological research. They may be the key to a new world. one where we can solve questions that humanity has always wondered about. The universe is not random, and each primordial black hole may carry an untold story, part of a larger truth that we are only beginning to uncover. The final question we all face is, if primordial black holes are alien technology, are we ready for what lies beyond? The universe has no borders, stray stars, and the doors between worlds, where mysteries are discovered not only in the primordial black holes, but also spread throughout the vast space, opening up possibilities beyond our current understanding. Is the universe really just an endless space, or are there hidden doors leading to other worlds that we have never dared to imagine? Chapter 7. The universe has no borders, stray stars, and the doors between worlds. When we stand under the night sky, looking at the twinkling stars, most of us only see lifeless streaks of light. But in the depths of space, there are unsolved mysteries, stray stars, doors between worlds, traces of a universe without borders that we have yet to recognize. The universe is not just a vast space containing planets and stars, but it could be a complex network of dimensions and portals connecting worlds, a kind of multidimensional universe that humans cannot fully explain. 1. Stray stars, discovery of strange stars. One of the recent discoveries that has made scientists rethink the universe is the appearance of strange stars called stray stars. These stars do not follow the normal orbits of star systems, but have different movements, seemingly being sucked into strange areas of space, not belonging to any star system or galaxy. One of these phenomena was recorded in the Milky Way galaxy, where a giant star was discovered moving outside its normal path, as if being pulled by an unknown gravitational force. Scientists have theorized that this force could come from a hidden black hole or some other cosmic force that we have yet to detect. But another, more daring hypothesis suggests that these stars may not simply be stray stars, but rather traveling stars, passing through dimensional portals, moving between dimensions, from one world to another in a multidimensional universe. 2. Portals between worlds. The theory of portals, points where matter and information can move between dimensions, is not a new idea. Many ancient cultures have myths about portals. The ancient Egyptians, for example, with the Great Pyramid of Giza, may have built dimensional portals to communicate with other worlds or access space beyond time. Imagine, what if the primordial black holes were not just natural cosmic structures, but could be space portals, gateways between universes leading to other dimensions we have never thought of? A recent study from NASA has also proposed a wonderful possibility. Strange points in space where strong energy flows and unusual phenomena occur could be space windows, allowing travel between parallel universes. 3. Parallel universes, eternal doors. We may be living in a parallel universe without even knowing it. The multidimensional universe theory has been proposed by many scientists, in which our universe is just a small part of a larger network of space and time. According to this theory, our universe may be just a part of a larger cosmic system, with invisible doors connecting different worlds. You've probably heard of the parallel universe theory, that we don't live in just one universe, but that there are millions and billions of other universes that exist alongside us. So how can we provide real evidence for the existence of these parallel universes? One theory suggests that black holes could be doors between these parallel universes. And if this is true, we might not only live in our own universe, but also have access to other worlds that may have completely different forms of life, technology, and civilization. 4. Signs from strange signals. One strange thing that can't be ignored is the strange radio signals that we've been receiving over the past decades. These signals come from distant spaces, where powerful radio signals suddenly appear without any apparent source. These signals could be traces of an open interdimensional door, allowing information and matter to travel between worlds. From signals to strange radio waves, there could be primordial black holes connecting us to parallel universes, worlds we have never thought of, never dared to imagine. 5. Our future, explorations without borders. Looking to the future, the biggest question facing humanity is, Will we be able to explore the interdimensional doors that, hey? Can we open mysterious doors to touch other worlds and better understand the borderless universe we live in? The universe has no borders. That's true. And every time we open a new door, whether it's a primordial black hole, a stray star, or a strange signal from deep space, we are entering an infinite space where the rules of physics can change, where everything can be different. The keys to the universe. Do we hold the keys to the gates between worlds? These gates may be waiting for us to open them, to enter a new era of exploration, where space and time are no longer the boundaries we once thought inviolable. Chapter 8. The keys to the universe. Do we hold the keys to the gates between worlds? Our cosmic journey, from the first discoveries of distant stars to the giant primordial black holes, has always been filled with an endless thirst for discovery and understanding. However, there is one question we have not been able to answer. Have we actually found the keys to the gates between different worlds? The keys may be right in front of us, hidden in scientific discoveries, strange natural phenomena, or even ancient evidence that humanity has forgotten. 1. Keys for mysterious objects in the universe. The keys may not be obvious physical objects, but may be strange spatial phenomena, mysterious objects that science cannot explain. One of the most obvious signs may be black holes. Black holes are not only regions of space with strong gravitational forces, but also real space portals. These black holes can act as cosmic keys, gateways that help matter and information move between dimensions and parallel worlds. So, if black holes can be the key to open space portals, could there be an unsolved secret hidden in these objects? Primordial black holes could be cosmic messages from extraterrestrial civilizations or from the ancient space age. 2. Secrets of ancient civilizations. Keys from the past. Throughout history, ancient civilizations such as the Egyptians, Sumerians, and Maya have left behind structures and documents that remain inexplicable. Pyramids, marvelous constructions that cannot be imagined with modern technology, seem to be more than just physical structures, but also cosmic gateways or keys to other dimensions. One of the most prominent examples is the Great Pyramid of Giza, a structure that recent studies have shown may not be simply a burial site, but a giant device that can connect Earth to other dimensions. The mathematical equations and uncanny precision of the pyramids may be a forgotten cosmic key from ancient civilizations. In addition, mysterious events such as some Mayan stone statues or historical records and stone tablets may contain hidden cosmic data containing information about cosmic keys to open space gates that we have never imagined. 3. Physical keys. Have we discovered them? Cosmic keys do not only exist in ancient legends or in primordial black holes, but can also be found in modern scientific research. So could we have discovered real physical keys to open the doors between worlds? One of the recent advances in physics research is string theory, a theory that all particles and forces in the universe can be explained through invisible strings. These strings can create doors connecting dimensions, where each universe can be a different string in a large cosmic block. Some studies have shown that multidimensional cosmology could lead to the possibility of connecting parallel universes through cracks in space. Experimental results of quantum gravity also suggest that another form of gravity may exist, allowing matter and energy to move through rabbit holes or space portals, which could be the physical key to opening other worlds. 4. Mysterious portals in nature. Keys from strange phenomena. In addition to primordial black holes and physical theories, we may be overlooking natural keys that come from strange phenomena occurring in nature. One of the most fascinating phenomena that scientists are currently studying is the phenomenon of gravitational waves. Ripples in space-time caused by cosmic events such as the collapse of giant stars or the collision of black holes. These gravitational waves could be a sign of an opening door to space or a crossing between dimensions. In addition, strange radio signals and strange optical phenomena from distant stars and galaxies could also be signs of the existence of cosmic portals, where information or matter can cross the boundaries of space and time. 5. The future. The key to the universe are you and the new journey of discovery. Humanity's journey in searching for the keys to the universe will never stop. Every discovery, every new theory discovered, is a step closer to opening the door to the universe. And maybe, in a not-too-distant future, we will find the real keys, space gates, allowing matter and information to travel through other dimensions, connecting universes and opening a new era of discovery. Can humans become real space explorers, using the very keys to the universe to open gates, travel to other worlds, and solve the eternal secrets that the universe is hiding? Journey to parallel worlds, encounters beyond space and time, a mysterious and fascinating chapter where we explore the amazing possibilities of journeying beyond space and time, entering parallel worlds that may contain different civilizations, mysterious entities, and cosmic secrets that we have never imagined. Chapter 9. Journey to Parallel Worlds, Encounters Beyond Space and Time. If there is one thing that has kept scientists and theorists endlessly curious, it is the question, could it be that we are not the only beings in the universe? The discoveries of parallel worlds, parallel dimensions, have been opening up seemingly impossible possibilities. With the discovery of black holes and interdimensional doors, we're getting closer to answering the question, could there be other worlds that exist parallel to ours? And could we visit them one day? 1. Parallel worlds, the possibility of a multidimensional universe. The concept of parallel worlds is not a new topic in science. From ancient civilizations through myths to modern scientific theories, the concept of other worlds, separate but parallel dimensions, has always been an open question. The multidimensional universe theory, according to which we do not live in a single universe, but that there may be countless other universes, parallel worlds, may be revealing an undiscovered reality. In this theory, parallel universes can not only exist simultaneously, but also interact with each other through cracks in space, places that can open up passages between dimensions. These parallel universes may have different living environments, where physics and time do not follow the rules we are familiar with. And in these worlds, there may exist different life forms and civilizations completely alien to us. 2. The door to space. Can we visit parallel worlds? We are living in a universe with well-studied and proven physical theories. But with the development of modern physical theories, especially string theory and multidimensional universe theory, we may be entering a new era where the concepts of space and time are no longer as simple as we thought. Black holes may be dimensional portals that allow us to travel across dimensions to parallel worlds that we cannot yet see or feel. The so-called rabbit holes in space may not be just a theoretical concept, but may actually be gateways to other dimensions, where we can encounter life forms and civilizations that are completely different from the world we live in. These space portals may not only be natural phenomena, such as black holes, but also strange points in the universe where strong gravitational and magnetic forces cause distortions in space-time. 3. Encounters across space and time. So if parallel worlds do exist, what if we could one day encounter beings or civilizations from other dimensions? This is no longer just a science fiction hypothesis, but has gradually gained ground in studies of cosmic systems. There are mysterious stories that some people believe are encounters beyond space and time. Cases of aliens appearing in strange circumstances, cosmic events that may be signs of interference between dimensions. One of the most prominent examples is the events that happened to astronauts on space missions. They witnessed unexplained phenomena, such as strange lights, unusual energy waves, which may be signs of a space encounter, where beings from another dimension are interacting with us. Strange signals from space, such as wow, signals from a distant region of space, may be signs of a space encounter, where aliens may be trying to communicate with us through space portals. 4. Tools and technologies from parallel worlds. The next big question is, if we could actually visit parallel worlds, what will we learn from them? Do other civilizations have advanced technologies that we have never thought of? And could there be tools or inventions from parallel worlds that we could apply in the development of science and technology? There is an interesting hypothesis that alien civilizations or beings from parallel worlds may have access to unlimited energy sources, limitless technologies, overcoming barriers that we consider impossible. Can overcome. Encounters with these civilizations may open a new era where space-time technology will take us to unimaginable discoveries. 5. Journey beyond space and time to our future. When the doors of space open, journeys to parallel worlds will no longer be just a theoretical concept. Humans will be able to cross dimensions, enter other worlds, where there will not only be interactions with civilizations, but also the discovery of cosmic secrets that we have never imagined. Our future may no longer be limited to space exploration as we once thought. Perhaps the journey beyond space and time will become a new era where humans will not only explore parallel worlds, but also open up endless possibilities in understanding and connecting dimensions. We have come a long way in exploring parallel worlds, but the secrets of the universe are still countless. Will we be the ones to open the door to space and begin the journey to parallel worlds?